What's going on, everybody? WTIM here. Welcome to my podcast. Today, we are talking about the curse on the black race. Um, I've been gone for a little while, so I want to say welcome back, everyone. Um, this is a very important subject of mine. Before I spoke about Bill Cosby and things like that, so if you check out some of my other videos and streams, you'll start to get a gist of this. We're going to get into some other things as time goes on, like relationships and roles in the home and things like that. Today, I want to touch on the curse on the black race. And I want to start by talking about um, one of the things that the Hebrew Israelites bring up, you know, and that I agree with them totally on the curse on the black race. I'm going to go further with this belief that I have as far as the curse that we have on us as to why we cannot come back and return to our original state. You'll hear a lot of black people reference to um, we used to be kings and queens and everything like that. And one of the things we have to look at is we have to wonder why we can't get back to that. Why we can't return to that state of being kings and queens. Um, you have a lot of people, they make money and they see themselves in that light. But when you look at things like pretty much everything. One of the reasons why they are able to do the things to us that they are able to do, like killing us, police brutality, um, killing us and getting away with it, why you have to fight so hard to get justice in a courthouse and everything like that. I was reading something on RV Publications about the Moorish race and culture. Um, and it was saying how when you talk to white people, they will say, well, we're Caucasian, or European. You talk to Asians, they'll say we're Asian. If they're from Asia, we're Asian. Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Lao. Everyone can identify themselves with something, so and with an actual name for their culture. But when you come to us, we say we're black. We identify ourselves with a color, and that right there in itself, we are identifying ourselves outside of the human race. We're not even identifying ourselves with the rest of the names of racial groups in the human race and the human family. So right there, we're already losing out right there. Going further, you have we don't own anything. I sit and one of the things that I look at is how you have a lot of these rappers and everybody. Like if you look at all of the rich people, the people that are making millions and billions of dollars, they're making it off of our culture. We buy this stuff. We are the highest consumer of everything. This is why they come in our neighborhoods and they upcharge the price on gasoline. They put these convenience stores in your neighborhood, liquor stores. Um, everything goes up. Snoop Dogg and Master P just had a fight with Post Cereal because they wanted the rights to their cereal, but they wouldn't sell them the rights to it. And then they turned around, and because they wouldn't sell the rights to Post Cereal would distribute the cereal, and then they would tell the stores to put it in the back, you know. And then when they would bring it out, they were overcharging you for that box of cereal to buy it when that's not what they wanted to charge for it, you know. So if you go buy a box of Raisin Bran Crunch for $5, you're buying a box of Snoop cereal for $8, $9 a box. You know, this is how they won't sell it to you at all. They'll just leave it in the back, you know. And these are the things that, you know, we continue to have backlash on, you know. We have to understand our kingship and our queenship was stolen from us. And if we don't believe this, then, you know, we have no room to talk about how we were kings and queens, you know, and all of that. You don't have the room to speak on that if you don't believe that it was stolen from you first and foremost, you know. So you go from that point, and you know, you have to understand, one, you know, people, they want to say, hey, you know, well, the white people stole this, they stole that, they did this. But you have to understand too, this is a thing called being conquered, you know. So I'm not going to sit here, because this is what's been going on since the beginning of time. You know, you can sit here and you can say, hey, the Canaanites came in and stole this land. No, they conquered it, you know. So, you know, when you, I mean, whether it's trickery or whatever, just like right now, you have Donald Trump as the president. People want to complain about this, that, and the other, but you did nothing about it. You literally did nothing about it. And we can sit here and we can say, oh well, you know, we tried to do something. You know, no, it's not. I've seen countries where the people, they'll throw rocks at tanks. You know, I mean, and when it, you know, one guy, he stood in front of a tank all by himself. The Chinese government were driving tanks and they had a whole parade going down the street, and my man stood in front of the tank. Tank tried to go around him. He, no, you're not going around me. And he had groceries in his hand. You know, so I mean, you know, all the marching and I'm not saying that the marching, okay, it doesn't really help, but I, I mean, what is it doing? We're still at the same place, you know. So I mean, you have to pick something up and you have to fight back, you know. And that's, I mean, that's just the way that is, you know. It's like, even when you look at religion, you know, how is it that you were offered a religion that wasn't part of your culture, you know? And the color, even the color of your savior was changed, you know. Do I believe in God? Yeah. I mean, I do, which brings me to another point of Deuteronomy 28, you know, where it talks about the curse. You know, people say, oh, that was then, that was the old time, you know. Okay, but you got to understand, why are we still here? We are the only people who everyone wants to beat us. You look at Shakari, if we get into something, we take the number one spot. You know, this girl was literally sitting there looking at somebody beside her running like it wasn't even nothing. You know, back in I think it was the '60s, when the brothers held their hands up. Oh, it was a big old problem. You know, any sport that's made, baseball, they said we couldn't play baseball. You know, we turned up and ended up having Hank Aaron and everybody else came in and just totally blew the game away. They had tennis. We got into that. Then you look at Arthur Ashe. You look at the Williams sisters, all the way to today. They had basketball was starting off. They didn't even want to bounce the ball. And we came in, started, you know, bouncing the ball. People started dunking the basketball. I think it was Wilt Chamberlain and Dr. J. They blew the whistle when you dunked on them. They we like, what did I do? They had a whole conversation about it. Like, oh no, well, you know, well, you did something, because it wasn't what they could do. You know, Tiger Woods came in even with the golf and took that over. You know, and the thing is when we do that, they know who you are. You don't know who you are. So that becomes what the issue is. It's not them, it's us, you know, just like Tupac said. It's not them that's not going to solve, it's us that's not going to solve. He told us that years ago, And that's exactly what's going on. We're the only race that everybody wants to be. Everybody, you know, the Chinese people, the Mexicans, the Latinos, the whites. I don't care where you from. Their main thing is beat him, beat that black boy, beat him. You beat him, you are all right. They'll lose to one another. The Chinese person can outrun a white kid. They won't even say nothing. They'll just say, "Okay, we'll get them next time." But you outrun them, and they see it's me. They don't know when they're gonna win again. They don't know when you're gonna beat Michael Jordan. They don't know when you're gonna beat Tiger Woods. They don't know when you're gonna beat the Williams sisters. They don't know when you're gonna beat Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson. They don't know when that's coming. They got this little young boy out right now, Tank Davis. You know what I'm saying? He's just dangerous. Just dangerous as could be. They don't even know when that's gonna stop. That's how long you can reign. But we don't do that. We'll sit up here and we'll buy a whole jewelry store and wear it around our neck and floss it around when we could take 2.5 million and we could buy land and we can build buildings on that land to help promote our people. That's what we can do. We sitting up here right now. Honestly, everybody, and I hate to say it because I'm a Jay-Z fan, but they're gonna come for him next. Every black person that I've seen has had billions of dollars like that. Unless they're tied to your money, they come after you. They come after you. They're gonna stop. They'll probably stop this podcast that I'm running right now after a while itself. But they're gonna come after you, and they're gonna come after you because you're not supposed to be able to grow. Not to those heights. They don't care if you make $100 million. Fine, make 100 million. The way we spend and lavish, just like all them necklaces and stuff, all that jewelry and everything. Yeah, by the time you get done, won't be enough for your son's son. By the time he grow up and get there, and then okay, there's so many things we can throw in their neighborhood, drugs and go and give them all of that. Give them the drug, give them the weed, and give them the alcohol and the liquor, and raise the prices and stuff in their neighborhoods. Give them all that. That way they can't, by the time they grow up, they'll kill each other off or something. They'll starve them of the resources. And the people that do come with the money, no, there's something that we can do to stop you. Bill Cosby wasn't even supposed to be prosecuted again. I really believe, now y'all can mark my word on this. I really believe that what they did with Bill is they threatened him with his wife. They threatened him. They said, "You know what? Your wife, we're gonna prosecute your wife if you don't take this downfall." And what do? They attack our livelihood. They attack it. That boy Charlie Sheen sat right on national TV on social media and had cocaine and everything sitting in front of him. All they did was make him go get a drug rehabilitation program, and he was right back on 2.5 million 6 months later. Let it be one of us. They sit up here, Muhammad Ali, because he making all this money, running all that lip and everything like that. It wasn't just something. Why would you single him out to want him to go to war and fight in a war against people that didn't do nothing to him? But you'll sit up here and you'll crack me upside my head. You'll put your knee in my throat. Colin Kaepernick sat there and took a knee. And one thing that this country is good at, they're good at deflecting. See that he took a knee against police brutality. That's why he took the knee. And none of us backed him on that. None of us backed him. That was the whole thing about it. He took a knee for police brutality. They're so good at deflecting. They said, "Oh, he's disrespecting the troops." It wasn't nothing about the troops. He didn't have nothing against the troops. He had nothing, at least he took a knee. And if he just sat up there and he ate a bag of popcorn while they were singing the national anthem, that'd be different. But he made a statement. So they had to deflect it because you would have concentrated on that. And when you concentrate on it, that's where they have a problem. Oh my God, they're making noise, y'all. They're making noise. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, well, isn't that about the troops? Yeah, that's disrespectful. You know, right there, they threw it off for themselves. And we let them. We let them. We turned right back around. Oh, it started being about the troops. And Trump came down there, get that SOB out of here. Yeah, and we let them do it. We didn't sit up here. No, it ain't got, we all should have been standing up saying, no, it ain't got nothing to do with the troops. It got to do with you killing us. That's what it got to do with. Yeah, the NFL, thankfully, the NFL got behind them. But why did they get behind them? The NFL got behind them because you got a whole lot of other black. You don't need all these black folks standing up talking about police brutality. Not by themselves. If they're gonna do it, we all got to do it. We got and we'll look good standing with them. Now everybody want to wear "I can't breathe" and all of that. But this is how it goes down. As long as they can piggyback, they're gonna piggyback with you. If it benefits them, that's how they're gonna go. I mean, and this is just this is we have to do something about this. Just like all these, like I said, these millionaires just wearing all these chains and things. I don't see any black person with industry stuff. We don't have nothing in medicine. We don't have nothing in the transportation industry. I run a trucking company right now, and they make it so hard for you to run anything. They make it so hard, and I know they don't take their own people through as much as they take us through to get something. I know they don't, and my own people have fought me on just owning my own trucking company. So it's this is what we do to one another. And then a lot of people, they sit there and say, well, he acting funny now. It's not even that I'm acting funny. I'm just not bothered with the mess. This is where I'm at with it right here. I'm trying to help with drug and alcohol recovery, and I'm pushing my race forward. That's what I'm here for. And if you're not trying to do that, I'm not gonna be bothered with you. You can't ask somebody to help you that you're not trying to be part of the cause. You can be part of the solution, or you can be part of the problem. That's always what it is. Even when it comes down to spirituality, a lot of people don't even realize only 8 people in this world survived the flood. The whole rest of the world was destroyed. 8 people. That's it. That's something to think about. Why everybody thinking they going to heaven and, oh, I'm going to be saved, and these churches that people going to and everything. It's why we can't come together. We can't come together because we so divided in everything that you can't sit here and tell me you got a Presbyterian church, a Muslim church, a Baptist church, and an Apostolic church, all on the same, all on 4 corners, and all of them talking about we telling the truth. I mean, come on. A lot of people get upset. I listen to that man, Geno Jennings. He not trying to sit up here and be your friend. I know that. You know what I'm saying? But he don't hate you. His thing is be holy. Like a lot of people sit there, and I tell people all the time, when you can tell me something that this man is saying wrong, then I'll stop listening to him. But he ain't saying nothing wrong. He letting you know right off rip. Hey, man, look, Jesus wouldn't say he was a Muslim. He wouldn't say he was a Catholic. He wouldn't say he was a Baptist or a Presbyterian. The Bible say, be thou holy. How many people can say that? That's what we got to understand. So when we get ready to say that, and we get ready to get into that stuff, that's where the difference is. We're doing too many things, y'all. We got too much going on. So at the end of the day, you got to understand what you're doing, how you are going to attack this situation. How are you going to get back to being a king and a queen? You know, what's going on in your household? How are you teaching your children? Oprah Winfrey said something one time, messed me all the way up. She says 24 hours in a day. Everybody got the same 24 hours. What you doing with yours? How did you help your culture today? You know, I'm looking at trying to do shopping black, you know, with my own people. I got my biggest problem was sneakers. You know, I got over 150 pair of shoes, man. You know, and I'm guilty of that. And I'll be the first to sit up here and say it. And I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to stop doing this Nike thing. I really am. I'm trying to do that, but it's a problem. You know, I like my shoes. I like them, but that's the era I come from too. You know, even back when I was younger, them little girls they get on your helmet, man. They get on your helmet if your shoes ain't right. They get on you. You know, they look at your shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they work. You know, but you know, get back to the subject. I'm sorry. Um, it's just you know we are. I mean, we have to figure out. You know, you look at why, like even with Diddy. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting that power, they take you down. And now here's another thing. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that Super Bowl. Okay. Now with the Super Bowl, they were so bent on this boy breaking records. He was the face of it. But I really believe when he jumped into that evolution of a black quarterback, because this is an argument I've been having with some of my family. You know, my cousin, in fact. You know, we talk about this, and he said, "You so hard on the black quarterbacks, Tim." And I said, "Because you know they don't train our black quarterbacks the same way that they train the white quarterbacks. This is why you have Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers and all of them winning the MVP and stuff like that. You know, black quarterback that won the Super Bowl was Doug Williams. You gonna sit here and tell me almost 30 years goes by? I mean, you see how many black quarterbacks we done had. You know, Donovan McNabb, Steve McNair, Randall Cunningham. You know, I mean that the list just goes on. You know, there's been so many black quarterbacks, and you can't tell me that none of them were good enough. You know, and that's what they sit there and they try to tell people. You know, like, hey man, you know, they just you, and then for them to not win the Super Bowl. I mean, not just the Super Bowl, but the MVP award. There's been quarterbacks that didn't win the Super Bowl, white quarterbacks that didn't win the Super Bowl that got the MVP award. You know, but I mean, this is the format. You know, and even when you look back and at the beginning, like I was watching the evolution of a black quarterback, I stopped watching because I got upset with my son because I was looking at where he should be as far as football and everything is concerned right now. So I got a little upset with him. So I stopped watching it, but it was talking about how even back then they when black men were in the NFL, they kicked them out for one because during the depression, they didn't understand how they would let white men be sitting here needing to make money while black men were making it, you know. But you know, you got to look at it. I ask yourself this, you know, when I talk about the curse on black people, how is it that somebody can have so much hate for you to where they tell you you can walk, talk, and everything just like them? How is it that you can look at another man and tell him he's 3/5 of a human being? That is so messed up. And to believe that in your mind to a point where you have so much hate and somebody that hasn't even done anything to you, you have so much hate. You say, nigger, you know, I mean, this is built deep down in them. This is built in them. So when you have that, it's hard for you to sit here and say, hey, we shall overcome. You know, no, this is the format. This is who they are. This is what we're dealing with, y'all. Right here, right now. I live in Florida. They sat right here in Florida and said, you can't, they don't want you teaching about slavery in the schools anymore. The DEI stuff, you know, all of this stuff going on. You guys think this is, man, look, history repeats itself. You know, and you know, a lot of blacks, they're just so comfortable about it right now. Look at why they really killed Muammar Gaddafi. And then Saddam Hussein right along with him. They were trying to build the Central Bank of Africa and they were going to back it by African resources. What do you think that would have did to your dollar bill? You know, people got to get hip to this stuff, y'all. But look, I'm not going to hold you up anymore. This is my comeback to my podcast, live streaming. Please, at any time, send me messages, call me, text me. A lot of you that are on my list, you have my number, you have my messenger. You can message me anytime. Um, you know, just I mean, you know, go with a Q&A, anything. You know, you can weigh in. Let me see. I'm putting I'm learning some things too, y'all. So as I go on with this thing, is gonna get a whole lot better. But you see, I got my setup going. I got it going. I'm here, y'all. I'm back. I'm gonna be your main man on the mic. Hey, listen, I'm your boy Tad Al. Y'all get at me, man. I'ma holler at y'all in a minute.